Hey guys, we finally got the string builder and string buffer classes. It's pretty straightforward. Just remember that string builders and string buffers can do anything that a string can do, except they also can be modified. They're part of the Java Lang package. They're automatically imported into every program, as the other things have been that we've talked about thus far. The advantages are that you can change them. The advantage to use string builder over string buffer is that string builder is more efficient overall. But you might want to use string buffers if you are doing multi-threaded programming, and that's simply like you're using coroutines where you're using multiple things at the same time. You're going to use string buffers because they're thread safe. This might be something that you may not understand at this point, and that's fine. You'll get it later on, but just realize string buffers can be used if you're running into problems when you're multi-threading with a string builder. Jump in and use a string buffer. Also, I want to let you guys know that the efficiency gains you get from string buffers and string builders are not great on the front end. They're great when you're running a bunch of iterations, like when you're adding a whole host of things together. You'll start seeing that string builders and string buffers outperform strings. But I will show you some of those example programs in a bit. All right. So when you create a string builder object, you must explicitly call the constructor. You have to say new string builder. And that's what I wanted to tell you here. There's not much else here. Just make sure you explicitly call the constructor. Well, you can't say like string builder variable name equals a string, because you have to actually pass in the string into the string builder object. All right, what is a buffer? Just so you guys are aware, a buffer is a memory block. It might or might not contain a string. The string might not occupy the entire buffer, and we're going to look at some of those things in a little bit. The length of the string can be different from the length of the buffer, and we use the word capacity to talk about the length of the buffer, and length to talk about the string length. All right. String builder methods. There's a set length method. There's a length method that returns the length, so it's like a getter. Set length is a mutator. There's a capacity method that finds the capacity of the string builder object. If you are modifying a whole host of strings, you're going to seek improved computer performance using a string builder over string objects. And these are the string builder constructors. It's an overloaded constructor. You can make a blank constructor and assign a value later. You can make a constructor with a capacity, or you can make a constructor by passing in a string. Okay, so with string builders, remember they are mutable. So one of the advantages of doing string builders is the ability to append, to insert, to set characters. You can use these methods to do these things, right? Caret also works. You can play with those methods and see exactly how they work. Yeah, and those methods are useful when we're doing string builders. Let's jump into code. I thought there was another slide, but don't worry. Let's jump into code and see what we have. And I just want to quickly run a set of code here. I was going to show you guys time comparisons, but I don't want to waste time on that right now. Let's jump in and look at the string builder demo itself, and I'm going to show you guys how that runs, and we'll talk about some of the lines of code, and we'll talk about that a little bit here. In this case, we have two particular string builders. One is name string and one is address string. The capacity of a string builder is 16 plus the number of characters you pass into it. So we initially pass in the word Barbara. So the capacity of this name string is 7 plus 16, which is 23. And you can see that when we print out the capacity and the length. The capacity is different from the length. The capacity is 23, but the actual string length is 7. Now we created an address string. We've passed in this address. This address is 23 characters long. It's 27 characters long. When you add 16 to that, you actually get 43. That's the capacity. Then we set the length to 20 for our name string, and we added the word end to it, right? So that's the length of the string now. That's the total length. So when you set the word into it, it sticks it at the end of those 20 characters. When we set the length 20 to the address string, it's going to cut off those last 7 characters and bring us to 6311 Hickory Nut Grow instead of Grove Road. So play with it. Have fun with string builders, string buffers, and strings. And I think you'll have fun. And we will see you in class on Tuesday.